So I've really messed up. I apologize, guys, for not having a video for the last couple of days. I have been sick as a dog. Usually I have like 7 or 8 videos in reserve, and the timing. Oh, my phone, sorry, is making weird noises on the sound card. The timing was just off this time. I got sick when I had 2 videos, and I had planned on recording Monday and Tuesday to like not have a gap in service, but it just happened that way that I lost. I mean, I literally lost my voice. Yesterday was Tuesday, and I had no voice at all. So I just got a cold over the weekend, and I feel much better today. Still a little bit under the weather, so if I sneeze, cough, or suck on a cough drop, I apologize. But it is what it is. Otherwise, we'd have no videos. So here we are today on the farm, and I've also realized I've messed up here. I gave them 15,000 liters of hay, and what sucks is that now I'm going to have to wait for that hay to go away before we can start getting full production of milk. So that's going to really hurt the farm because that's like 6 months of food, and I didn't realize that when I did it. Part of me wishes I could just start over again, but I'm not going to. We're just going to deal with it. But that hurts our production, enormously hurts our production. Because that's going to really that's going to about half or less our milk supply. So another thing that I found out, thanks to guys giving me tips on the channel, we don't have the cows. I'm sorry, the sprayer, the cows. The sprayer for the John Deere is actually meant for grass and not for fertilizing fields. So I've been using that incorrectly, so we are going to have to get a sprayer possibly for our fields. Though, I could always just use the fertilizer spreader until we have slurry, but this, where did it go? My little green sprayer is nowhere to be found. What did I do with that thing? Anyway, it's a new day. We've got to open up the farm anyway, so this thing has, looks like seed and stuff parked in it. What do we got? We got, yeah, fertilizer, right? Calcium. Oh, no, that's lime, calcium carbonate. Lime in there. All right. And we will have one more field of lime to do. All right. Maybe I put it in here. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, there they are. Okay, so there's the backs. There's our sprayer. So this is not really meant to spray fields. So we did one field like that, but lesson learned. All right, let's get the harvester out to the field. So our sorghum is ready for harvest. So our first chore of the day is to get the sorghum off the field. And so we're going to roll out there in the Deutz harvester. I almost feel like we should, well, the best way to spend money. I feel almost like we have a bit of a loan out. I'm just going to, we're just going to do what we got. I was going to say I could take a loan out and buy some more land to get some more crops and or possibly maybe get more cows so that they're eating the food faster. That seems to be the only solution for our cow problem. Tell you what, it's weird driving this thing because of the way it steers. It's like trying not to crash into trees and stuff. All right, so here's our sorghum field, and this is for the chickens. Chickens with a Z. That was the wrong button. There we go. Okay. And we need the good old gates. Mr. Gator. And we're going to grab the harvester header and get this delivered to the field. the puppies are asleep. We have puppies now, by the way, for those of you that haven't been around for a bit, or maybe that. Did we have the puppies when I recorded this last time? I can't remember. I think we did, because they're 4 weeks old now, so I'm pretty sure you guys knew about the puppies. But we had our Dalmatian had 8 Cocker Spaniel Dalmatian mixed puppies, thanks to our Cocker Spaniel. Not planned, but they are really cute. We will be putting them up for sale here in a couple weeks. They'll be going up on the website hopefully in the next day or two for down payments. But we're keeping 2 of them because they're just freaking. We're keeping one of the white ones and one of the. It was kind of funny the way the Cocker Spaniel is white with brown spots, and then of course the Dalmatian, she's an ink spot, so she has really dark black spots. She's like half black, half white. Whereas a lot of Dalmatians are, pretty white with just a couple black spots, but she's very dark colored. And so the puppies came out with black spot roaning. And what that means is they have black spots like a Dalmatian, but they're under their fur. So they're kind of cool looking. Like they have so 4 of the puppies are kind of grayish looking, but if you look closely, it's spotted gray. And then 4 of the puppies are white with little splotches of brown. And so it's funny how there's even distribution. Half of them look like mom, half of them look like dad. Some of them have little Cocker Spaniel, or big Cocker Spaniel heads with long ears. Some of them have little Dalmatian heads with shorter ears. So they seem to all have bigger, like medium-sized ears at least. So, but we'll put some pictures up on the Facebook page. If you're not part of the Facebook group, be sure to join. All you have to do to join is it's Arthur's Gaming. Wait, what is it? Arthur's YouTube channel? Is it Arthur's Gaming channel? All you have to do to join is answer the 3 questions, and Kyle will let you in, and or my wife, one or the other. What? Right, if you don't answer the questions, you will not be allowed in. You don't even have to answer them seriously. No, you don't. The whole point was to just prove that you're not a robot. So you don't have to answer them seriously, but you can, or you can be silly about it. But as long as we can tell it's a human, that's what we're looking for. So, all right, so pull this off to the side. Going to open this up. So, how are you guys liking Farm Sim 22 so far? I really am enjoying it. I feel like it's definitely the most difficult Farm Sim that's come out. I think it was really easy with 15 because you had the silage grind. This game, I feel like they've added a lot to it. It's definitely become harder as a farming simulator. You can't just harvest crops and survive unless you play on super easy mode. But they've definitely put a lot more into it, and it is much more like a real farm. And at first I thought, I'll just turn the seasons off, but I've really actually enjoyed seasons. But there is quite a challenge to it, and I'm finding that that's a good thing because it keeps me coming back. And I want to see how my farms are going to do. So I'm excited about what they've done with the changes. I love the new crop. Sorghum's really cool, obviously. This is a neat-looking crop. I do like the fact that the graphics got a color bump. Things in 19 tended to look kind of gray and like washed out. And I feel like they brought the color back for 22. The game just, it might look a little more cartoony, but at the same time, I feel like it just really, it's much more colorful to me, and it has a vibrancy that I like. Like I said, I felt like 19 was a little bit washed out looking. They tried to make it look a little bit more realistic, but that's not always a good thing. It's funny. For example, they talk about graphics. Going back, and this is, probably totally a moot example, but when Legend of Zelda Wind Waker came out, people were uber disappointed because they were hoping for a photorealistic Zelda. That's what they wanted. They wanted Zelda to look real. They wanted Link to look real. They wanted the world to look amazing. And so with Twilight Princess, which was the follow-up title, they did that as best they could back then. And people were like, oh, this is the best-looking game ever. And, see how stupid Wind Waker was? But the funny thing is, okay, so Wind Waker was what was called cel-shaded. And cel-shaded is kind of cartoony graphics, for those of you that don't know. Games like Jet Set Radio Future, there's a lot of games that use it now. I'm trying to think of ones currently that have that. Borderlands is a perfect example. Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3, those are all cel-shaded games. They kind of have like a cartoon outline with colors inside. 3D is done with shading and stuff like that, though there's still objects and stuff. But the funny thing is, you go back now, and if you play Twilight Princess, it looks awful. It is terrible looking. And you go back and play Wind Waker, and it still looks the same. And it looks great. Because it wasn't about the graphics. It was about, the colorfulness and the game. And because it was done a little bit unrealistically, it had a magic to it that survived. Whereas, the Twilight Princess, still a great game, but it looks awful. It's just terrible looking, comparatively. So I like to use that as an example because this is the same thing. I feel like 19 just looked blah. And I think because of that, I kind of got blah feeling about it. Like I was just kind of like, it's kind of gray and dull and not fun and not happy. And this game, while I feel it still does look realistic, but it has a much more colorful feel to it. And it's how they did their shaders and how they did their lighting effects and stuff. It's much better on this version. So I'm really enjoying 22. I don't think I could go back to any of the older versions. I might start a farm on my Switch, but honestly, on my Switch I mostly just play Animal Crossing, so that's about the only thing I play on the Switch. I keep missing the edges here. I'm trying to do in the cockpit harvesting, and I'm not very good at it. But anyway, that's just my opinion. I know there's people out there that are unhappy with 22 or whatever. I'm also excited. I saw that we have the Vermeer pack coming out the 22nd of August. And so that's exciting news. I don't know when Pumps and Hoses is coming out, but it has Straw Harvest embedded in it. So for that reason alone, I'm going to get it. I don't know if I'll get a free copy or not. Sometimes I get that stuff for free, but sometimes the payware stuff I don't, and I have to pay for it. But either way, I'll end up getting it. I really like Straw Harvest. One of my favorite things about the Straw Harvest, and hopefully they'll have it again, is the bale accumulator that goes on the back of the square baler so that you can put them in groups of 3 and then pick them up with the telehandler. That makes bale collection so much easier if you're not doing pickup wagon. It also makes manipulating bales a lot easier. So I'm excited about Straw Harvest. I think that'll be fun. But the Pumps and Hoses thing doesn't really affect me too much because I don't really do a lot of slurry, though. On this, I'm starting to. On the Swiss farm, we did slurry for the first time. And on this farm, we will have slurry, so we will be using it to fertilize the fields. Actually, I think because we went overnight, I actually have enough slurry now to maybe do half a field at this point. So we'll get this field slurried a bit once we have it plowed and limed. Last of this. I'd say 3 more passes, maybe 2. No, 3, definitely 3. It's just wide enough that I have to do another pass. So I was kind of sad. We missed the fair this year. Just didn't have the money for it. My wife's not feeling well because she's super pregnant. And on top of that, it was super, super hot last week. Like 90s every day. And so we spent the days in the pool instead of... You what, babe? Yeah, she couldn't have walked around in it. She's like, well, you're 9 months pregnant, aren't you? We're pretty much at the end of the pregnancy, and so she's ready to pop. And so that would not have been a happy day for her to be wandering around a 90-degree fair. Anyway, but I did get to see on the way it's full. Crap. I didn't think we'd fill up all the way. I wasn't paying attention. On the way into town one of the days that I was driving around, I saw hang on a second. They had a parade of tractors, and it was really cool to see all the tractors going into town. They were like, oops, these are the other way. Shoot. I saw a case, the same one that Mike and I just bought for the Cousins farm. They had one of those, and that was really cool. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So, all right, so we need to talk. I know you guys have probably been wondering, like, what the heck happened with Twitch, why I haven't been on there. So I am launching a mostly unsuccessful career so far in DoorDash. And unfortunately, the peak times are like usually when we stream. So it's been, I was doing a week trial to see how it goes. I've only done a couple days, and I'm going to do more, but it hasn't been super successful, but it's better than nothing. So like on days when my bank account's negative, I can actually put some money in there and keep it in the positive. But it's not really making a ton of money either, and unfortunately you got the wear and tear on the car too. So I know it's not a permanent solution. But anyway, I felt like I put so much time into Twitch, and it makes me about $5 a day. And so I have to provide. Like, I can't do that anymore. So anyway, it's my fault. You know, we waited too long. My business has been declining for the last 3 years, and I've been trying to keep it going. And I will hopefully at some point or some way find a way to keep the business going. But I'm going to have to do it alongside doing work for other people. I've applied for a bunch of different jobs, like photography jobs, kind of similar to what I'm doing, and then also other types of photography jobs, and waiting to hear back from some of these employers. They basically are doing real estate. I would get paid less, but I don't have to do any of the editing. So there's a trade-off. If I can get, they pay $50 an hour, or $50 a shoot, which is about 2 hours probably with travel time. So if I can do 2 or 3 of those a day, that's steady income, and these are places that have a lot of work. So I'm hoping that, that will, pan out. And if I can get something like that going that's steady, I don't have to do the DoorDash anymore, and I can return to streaming or whatever. But I think for now, it's time for me to do that kind of stuff, and we'll have to see. The streams definitely come in low on the totem pole only because they don't make any money. So, I can make more money in one night doing DoorDash than I do in a month of streaming. So it's hard to continue like, oh yeah, I can continue streaming. I know everybody liked it, but there's a point where I have to, face facts and go, some guys are able to do it full time. I'm not yet. So, we look at guys like, Impulse and stuff like that. Like my wife likes Impulse, and he's getting 4,000 or 5,000 viewers, and that's the kind of subscriber base that I need in order to survive, to do it full time. And we just don't have that. So, I love you guys. I know there's those of you that have been part of the stream for years. Don't totally give up hope, because like I said, I would like to go back to it eventually, but it's going to have to be in a different time, in a different place where I'm able to support either through YouTube or Twitch a job, because it's got to make money. I can't be spending, let's figure it out, 2 hours a night, 30 nights, that's 60 hours a month, and making $100. Would you go to work for somebody that would pay you $100 for 60 hours? No. My wife would. She did it at the barn. Oh, the look I just got. But I won't. I refuse. So that's the way I have to look at it, because I have bills to pay. So, and it's my fault. Like I said, I'm in the position I'm in. Somebody was like, "Oh, you should start a GoFundMe or whatever, and we'll support you." And I'm like, "No." Right. This is my wife just said that too. She's like, "No." I'm like, "No." I got into this position because I let my company. I kept trying to do the company for too long. Didn't realize how quickly things were changing. And in the long run, it's my fault that I didn't see the future with the company. The writing was on the wall, and I ignored it and just kept trying to do the same thing. And so now we're in a position where it's caught up to me, and that's my fault. So hopefully we'll get in a position where it's not. Huh? It'll always be my fault. No matter what I do, it's my fault. Anyway, so the point is, thanks, honey. I love you too. The point is, well, that is true. Anyway, the point is, we're trying some different markets, but it's going to take a while to grow that business too. So we're going to try bed and breakfast. You know, we've done some of these before, but we're really going to try to hit it advertising-wise. What am I stuck on? So, you know, if I can get that going again and we can get money rolling in and you know, once again, when I was doing, you know, 5 shoots a week, we were okay. I was able to pay my bills, and I was able to you know, do YouTube and Twitch and have fun. But the problem is that's gone. Those days are unfortunately gone. Like, I'm getting 1 shoot every 2 weeks, and that's the market. That's just what's happened with our market. So, you know, when 3 houses go up for sale a month, that there's no need for my job. So, you know, even my realtors. I just talked to one of my friend videographers the other day, and he's going through the same thing. I'm like, "How you been doing?" Like, and he's like, "Terrible. Like, business is terrible right now." I'm like, "Really?" Because he does other stuff too, and I'm like, that shocked me. But he's going through the same crap. So, all right, so we have this done. Let me think about this. Yeah, 'cause this is going to have to go back, and so is the harvester. So I'm just going to take this all back, and then lime application. Bring this back down, because we are going to have to spray lime on the field. But I don't want to do that yet. We're going to plow first. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I probably will bring the lime trailer back with this. Yeah, so it wasn't really like a super happy decision for me to make, and I know there's a lot of people that are sad. But I can't I can't justify it anymore. I need to be doing other stuff. Like I said, if things get different, and they might, you know, you never know. I think with the economy the way it is right now, it's going to be a while before stuff changes. But, you know, maybe I'll find something else on the side that can be another side hustle, and then I can have the money to do it. So anyway, I thank you guys that have been part of the Twitch channel. For your years and years of support and putting up with my inconsistent streaming all those years. I really do appreciate it, guys, because I know it's been a challenge at times, and we've had a lot of fun. I don't know how I'm going to get this in here, but anyway, it's been a good time, and like I said, the YouTube is still going to roll. Because it only takes me maybe 1 or 2 days a week to get YouTube stuff done. You know, I usually can get 4 or 5 days worth of stuff done in 1 day. Maybe 2 days worth. So that's not a bad thing. Can I not hitch this? I might not be able to hitch this trailer. No, I can't. Okay, I was going to say, I thought. Oh. I think this farm is well designed. They thought that stuff out, like pulling through. That way you don't have to like back these trailers in. Which way's the best way? Left or right? I don't know. I think this way's the shorter way. Pardon me. Yeah, so we're going to go down. I'm going to park this. We're going to get our tractor and do the work that our tractor needs to do. We also need to put the harvester away. Nope, I went the wrong way. Gosh dang it. And more than anything, I love this farm. Talking about 22. I have, once again, I haven't found a farm, I think, except for Campaign in France. I like these little farms. To me, they're more fun because you're constantly doing new stuff. You know what I mean? It's a quick turnaround. So one game I'm excited about that's coming out soon, and we'll have to see how it goes, but it looks like it could be a lot of fun. Astragon, who makes lots of terrible and also some good games, is releasing a new version of the construction simulator. And this one actually takes, it looks like it takes from the iPad version, and you get to use the equipment that you bring to actually build the building. And that looks awesome because the previous version, which was 2015, I think, I did not like that version because you didn't really do anything aside from just deliver things. So it had a really bad drive. Gosh, I think I even have a couple videos on my YouTube channel from back then. You basically drove from the store and got a bunch of pallets and dropped them off at the construction site, and then it was just done automatically for you. And the driving model was terrible. It was absolutely horrible. So it was like, this isn't even fun because the driving is so bad that you can't, enjoy yourself. So I'm interested to see what happens with this version. I know the iPad version was actually touted as being pretty dang good, and a lot of YouTubers were playing it. And I played it a little bit myself when I was in England, but I don't like playing on an iPad. So it's not comfortable for me. Like my hands cramp and stuff, and I don't like it. Now, I've since then learned how to hook my controller up to the iPad, but back then I wasn't doing that. So, what, babe? That was silly. I know. I think we're done with this garage for the day. So anyway, does that do it? Yeah, there we go. I'll be back. So anyway, I'm hoping the new version doesn't match the old version. We'll have to see. It comes out in September. Another big announcement that I thought was somewhat comical and a little bit aggravating is Train Sim World 3 has just been announced, when they haven't even finished 2. And as you guys know, I'm already aggravated with them because this is just me being a jerk. They used to give me free content, and I was able to do reviews and stuff. And I think I was a little too honest about it in some of my reviews because I won't lie about stuff. And in general, you guys know how positive I am. I'm usually real positive in my reviews. But I'm honest about things that are wrong. And I think they got wind of that, and they stopped giving me copies of some of the stuff. So I don't get anything free from them anymore, which is why I stopped doing reviews, because I'm not paying $30 for a DLC. I don't have that kind of money. If I did, I probably would, because I like the stuff that they put out. But I'm very upset with them about this, because they promised that they were going to do all this stuff with version 2. And then all they did for version 3 is it now has lightning. In a storm, it has lightning, and it has weather that changes while you're driving the train. That's it. That's the big difference. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. Like, you can't make a new version and sell it as such with that little change. and that's bogus. I personally think it's just a money grab. And I really have been a huge supporter of their products. I love Train Sim and Rail Sim, Train Sim Classic. You know, I've spent hundreds of dollars on their products, and to me that's just uber disappointing that they would do that. Not surprising, I guess. You know, their DTG is known for that, but for a long time they've been like Train Simulator Classic. They've been giving us the upgrades for free for years. Well, for whatever reason, they're just charging everybody full price, and it's, you know, $40 for the base edition and like $60 for the deluxe edition, and it's like, you know what? Kiss my butt. I'm not doing it. But what sucks is that means that any new routes that come out, you're not going to be able to get unless you upgrade. So I think that's bogus, and I think that is detestable. I really am disappointed in them for doing that. That, to me, they're making a huge mistake. It is what it is. Oh, and also, I mean, for those of you that watch my Star Citizen stuff, we had a similar issue. Like Star Citizen, they gave people a bunch of money and then they took it all back. Now, that said, they haven't taken any of my ships away. So I think they were looking for people that bought duplicate giant ships. My ships all still remain, so I'm thinking that they didn't do that to me. But anyway, I thought that was also funny. That was another big controversy in gaming recently. pH is bad. I suppose we could put lime on this field. Once again, if we want full yield on this field, we're going to have to plow it, but I think we'll get another mow off of it, so I'm waiting till winter to do that. It's going to need to be plowed and then rolled. All right, so we're done with the forks on this, so let's drop them off. Then I'm done with the weight. And so we're ready to go on to phase 2, which is subsoiling. And I think that gives us a good chance to call it an episode. So ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Farm Simulator 22. Fruhling. I definitely had fun making it. And I'm going to go out and do some subsoiling. I will catch you guys at the beginning of the subsoiling in the next episode. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help. And we'll see you next time. Bye.